platform. His Excellency, thank you for your patience and thank you for being here. My name is MC Henry and I'll be the MC and moderator for today's virtual event. So today's symposium titled Education Engagement on the Role of Nigerian Diaspora in the Nation Building of a New Nigeria was organized by a group of Nigerian intellectuals that reside here in the USA. The lecture will be presented by His Excellency Peter Obi. I will have a very short program today, key highlights being the lecture itself, and then followed by questions. The questions that will be asked today were collected from a pool of questions that have been pre-screened by the organizers of this event. For the question and answer session then, we'll have 4 groups led by 4 moderators. Each of the moderators have 5 questions and we'll be appointing individuals to ask these questions. We ask that each person keep their question down to 2 minutes. Our plan then is to have each moderator's session, all the 5 questions go, and then His Excellency will respond to all the 5 questions in one sitting just to help us accommodate time and to make sure we respect his time as well. It is then with great honor that I will pass on the platform to the lead organizer of this event, the woman that really put this together, Dr. Cordelia Odo. Dr. Odo, over to you. Thank you. We can hear you. No,
thank you with our one and only Mark Henry, the best MC in this area of the country. Thank you again. Your Excellency Peter Obi, Prof. Pat Utomi, Chief Valentine Ozigbo, I'm not sure he's there, and all of you who called in, welcome to the educational engagement by Peter Obi. All protocols observed. It was in the late October 2022 that Mr. Eugene Abinson contacted me to host His Excellency Peter Obi. I was excited about the idea, given my experiences with Obama's first presidential campaign and the various groups I belong to in working for a better Nigeria 2023. I considered it a privilege to be called to serve. I enlisted the help of my good friend, High Chief Dr. Patience Onwa, and the educational engagement for Peter Obi was born. I sprang into action by creating committees of dedicated and accomplished individuals who invested time, treasure, and talent to see that the educational engagement becomes a success. The committees include the Culinary Committee of High-End Caterers led by Stella Gobwa, Mama T, Patricia Machi, Ego Sonny Mogo, Happiness Opera, Mr. Geoffrey Chukwani, and Lady Clem Okoji. The Transportation Committee by Chief Patrick Anama and Chief Tony Okoji. The Security Committee led by Joseph Oke Onyuzo and Chima Ojenta. The Photography Committee led by Peter Keke and Henry Okoye. The Program Committee led by Dr. Odera Nwankwo, Dr. Chete Eze Lian, Mrs. Cordis Ikezie. The Magazine Committee by High Chief Dr. Patience Onoha, Ikechukwu Chibuzo, and Dr. Cordelia Udo. The Checking Committee led by Mr. Martin Uche Ewe, and his supporters included Ikedi Udo, Ifeanyi Okoji, Adeze Nwobodo, and Chinedu Chukwan. The entertainment group comprising Mark Henry, Chisomoji, who will sing a special song for our Excellency tonight. Obino Daddy Muna, the MC with an MD, Ike Okoji, Mr. Gibson, Pardon C, and above all, my husband, Dr. Chris Udo, the chairman of the town hall event, who together with me hosted the dinner party. Your Excellency Peter Obi, these individuals volunteer their services at no cost and spend their own money to cook, for security, for gas and car service, traveled from faraway states with only one wish: to see, hear you, and possibly take photos with you. most importantly, to make sure you succeed and pave the way for a better Nigeria for all. This meeting is an educational event and not a campaign event. It is all about our Excellency P2B and not Labour Party. Your Excellency P2B, the topic of your speech today is the role of the Nigerian diaspora in the nation building of new Nigeria. Please permit the original initiator of this program, Mr. Eugene Abinson, to talk before you start. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Odo. We'll now pass the floor over to Mr. Abinson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big moment we've been waiting for. He transformed the face of Anambra State and made it a yardstick for measuring good governance in Nigeria. He touched on all sectors: education, agriculture, healthcare, small business, infrastructure, and local industries, to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, I want to introduce to you, and it's my honor to introduce to you, by special grace of God, the next incoming president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. The floor is yours, sir.
By saying I most sincerely apologize that we were not able to meet physically as planned. At the time I was to visit for the physical meeting, there were a number of issues which made it inevitable, possible for me to be there. So I sincerely apologize. And thank you for, despite my not being able to physically attend, to still stay on and be committed to the project. I thank you, Sister Cordelia, Brother Eugene, and all of you who are involved with the planning, who are attending, who are participating. I appreciate everything you're doing for our country, because you're doing this for our country, Nigeria, and how we can build a better place for our children. Though, as mentioned as the keynote speaker, I will only be introducing and mentioning the topic again for us to have an interaction, which I think will be more fruitful and beneficial to the project. When we talk about the role of diaspora in nation building, one can go back to several places in the Bible, but the most exemplary is Joseph coming to the rescue of the house of Israel while serving Pharaoh in Egypt. In most recent times, studies found all over the place, from Japan, what they were able to do after their difficult time of restoration in cause of production and prosperity. China rising owes it to Diaspora and what they were able to do. Same thing is, you can say, of India. And India is rising today. They owe it to the diaspora contribution A Nigerian case might be different if we are committed to turn around the country. Today, diaspora remittance is now far more than what we earn from oil. But most importantly, your contribution, ideas, knowledge will be far more important for the turnaround of our country. We cannot talk about turning around the country, especially as we move from our promise that the new Nigeria is possible. We can't talk about turning around after we secure and unite the country, provide a regulated environment, ensure rule of law, ensure that the country is moving from consumption to production. There's no more important partner than you. We need you to help. We need you to be there, to be able, the first investors we hope to attract is you. The knowledge, the idea, we look forward to your contribution in turning around Nigeria. I wish to have a very useful interaction despite the delay tonight. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, and thanks for doing this a second time. We appreciate your patience and your dedication. At this point, we will move over to the Q&A section, which I think would lead the interaction you suggested. So I'll be calling on Dr. Chete to lead the first series of our Q&A session. Dr. Chete, over to you.
Hi, thank you, MC Hero. Thank you, Your Excellency, for such an excellent introduction, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to hear from you today. Like MC Hero said, these questions are going to be in sections. Actually, there are 4 sections, and each section has about 4 to 5 questions. So we're thinking we'll ask the questions in batches. Like the first section, which I'm going to take, is on diaspora investments, and there are 4 or 5 questions under that. So I would assume you would want to take notes because we just go down, ask the questions one after the other, unless you prefer one by one. So we'll do that, and then we'll let you answer the questions under this section, and then we'll move to the next section. Okay. So the section I'm moderating here is on diaspora investments. And the first question will be asked by Mr. Seven Ezumba. Seven, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Seven Ezumba. I flew out from Florida to PA to meet His Excellency, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. My question today for His Excellency relates to the discrimination that abounds in Nigeria at all levels of society. For example, charges of fees for clearing shipments depend on the addresses of the final destination of that shipment in Nigeria, or federal programs for, say, agricultural projects, power systems, and so on. His Excellency. Oh, like charges and fees, like custom levies, payment for fees. It depends on what location you're going to. The fees differ. Same thing with like the passports and what states are you getting a passport on? You know, the treatment is different. Or with the federal contracts, you know, agricultural projects, power systems, and so on. You know, successful award depends on your religion or your region. You know, the Southeast region itself is one of the most difficult for investors to partner with the state government for investments advertised by the same state government. It takes years. There's so much bureaucracy involved, as if the idea is based on extortion without any good intentions. The above issues are quite discouraging to diasporas. How can your government intervene moving forward?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Seven. The next question is going to be by Dr. Chris Udor. Dr. Chris Udor is the chairman of the Town Hall Educational Event and also the host of the dinner party, husband to our very formidable Dr. Cordelia Udor. Go ahead, Dr. Chris, please. Is Dr. Chris here?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, is your video on, please?
Yeah. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'm Dr. Udo, Christopher Udo. And I want to introduce myself a little bit more. I went to school at CKC Onitsha. And, you know, what we learned there, what we learned there carries us throughout most of our lives. So we really appreciate the education and the practice that came along with going to CKC. Another thing I want to say is the attitude of His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. You see, I mean, this is how patient he is. Most people would be upset by the technical glitches, but he's patient, okay? But anyway, what I want to say are a few things. Your character, the character of His Excellency is a combination of so many leading people in America and also in Britain. I want to name a few of them. Being Abraham Lincoln, he was the one who prevented America from being a split country. So is your Excellency. I know, most people know that Nigeria is at the crossroads. And so you are the one who's gonna be our savior. Another character that most people know about is JFK, you know, John F. Kennedy. He's the visionary leader, okay? He's the one who said he was gonna take America to the moon and he was gonna do a lot of great things, not because those things were hard. I mean, not because those things were easy, but because they are hard. Your Excellency, you have said that you wanna take Nigeria from being a consumer country to a productive country. And that is just as hard as what JFK had mentioned. Another great person that you really embody so much is Winston Churchill, who never gave up on his people. Even when Hitler was on top of him, on top of Europe, he never gave up. Through his motivational and inspirational talks, he was able to rally the people and America came along and the rest is history. Okay, you yourself, I mean, you come across as somebody who can never give up. I mean, look at what has been happening with all these technical glitch. You just have the patience, okay? And that goes a long way, all right? And the truth of it is the crowd that follow you, the youth that follow you. It shows that they have so much confidence in you. It shows that they trust you. And you yourself, you are not leaving any stone unturned to see that Nigeria is rescued. We see that, we appreciate that. Now, my question is this. Oftentimes, or sometimes you have mentioned that the central point of your policy will be to create a level playing field. A level playing field, okay? That's what you've said a few times. What I want to know and what we want to know is what would that level playing field be like? Can you give us examples of what a level playing field are or is? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Odo. Very passionate submission. Thank you. The next question is going to be by myself. So this is number 3 question. So by introduction, I'm Dr. Chete Ezenli. I'm a cardiologist by training at the Cleveland Clinic, Cleveland, Ohio. Received my medical training from the University of Nigeria. So I share the same alma mater with His Excellency. I'm a member of the programs committee for this educational event. So my question to His Excellency is this. In 2016, the federal government drafted a diaspora policy to mobilize and harness the potential of the Nigerian diaspora for national development. Unfortunately, the policy document still awaits full implementation, arguably due to lack of political will and/or appropriate fiscal policies. So my question specifically is, if you become the president, Your Excellency, would you consider taking up the recommendations given by the president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesanya, who, while noting that Nigeria is among the top 10 remittance recipients globally with $19.2 billion in 2021, advocated that, quote, African countries should, 1, securitize remittances to provide investments. I would add investments in capital projects, such as building much needed medical infrastructure. 2, establish ministries of diaspora to give policy priority to the specific needs of the diaspora, as well as expand the investment opportunities for them through special incentives, quote closed. Thank you very much. Number 4 question will be asked by Ms. Stella Agobwa. Are you there, Ms. Stella? Ms. Stella? Okay, so can we move on to Ms. Patricia Amechi?
Good evening. Hello, Stella speaking.
Okay. Welcome, Ms. Stella. Please ask your question to His Excellency.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, His Excellency. I am Stella Agobor. Yeah. I am Stella Agobor. Hello.
Can we see your picture? Okay.
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. I am Stella Agobor. I'm a registered nurse and also a licensed caterer. I was the director of the Culinary Committee for December 10th educational program. And then I took 2 days of my job to prepare and cook the delicious food that include ofaku with rice, goat meat pepper soup, onubu egusi, vegetable soup with fried rice, oba and abacha.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, His Excellency, due to unforeseen circumstance, you were not present to enjoy good traditional delicacies from us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, His Excellency. Thank you. My question is, what measures do you have to encourage those Nigerians that are willing to relocate back home to Nigeria to do so? Thank you, His Excellency.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Agobwa. The last question is going to be by Ms. Patricia Amechi. Are you there, Ms. Patricia?
Yes, I'm here, Patricia Amechi. Good evening, His Excellency. Good evening, everybody, and happy Christmas. My name is Mrs. Patricia Amechi. I live in Philadelphia, and I'm a leading caterer.
Can we see your face a little, Patricia, so that...
yeah, okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry. I live in Philadelphia, and I'm a leading caterer in the region. I heard that you were coming to Philadelphia, And I washed these native terra leaves very well, making sure there was no sand, and prepared this delicious moi moi for you. However, hopefully, you didn't show up. I will come to the White House to prepare this delicious moi moi again for you very soon, by His grace. My question is this, sir. How can people in diaspora be encouraged and incentivized to invest in Nigeria? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So these are the 5 questions under the diaspora investment section. Over to you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Well, I'll just, I'll try, I'm sure probably these questions, I'll just answer them as a brief. Yeah, the first question borders on charges and fees, different discriminatory fees that are charged all over.
Oh God.
And everything. What you get is what you get in a system where there's no rule of law, where there's no regulatory environment, you know, that's where there's no law and order. So when we say that our first job is to secure and unite Nigeria, provide a society where there's rule of law, where there's a clear regulatory environment, where there's law and order. This is what we're saying. This is what will take care of this. And it's very critical. In the society we live today, America, one of the greatest contributors, if not the greatest, the GDP, is intangible asset provided by rule of law. Law and order. Everything is clear, is transparent, and if there's a difference, you're sure that you can get proper place, report, escorts, anything, and get it solved. So these are things we need to put in place. On what my brother, let me say, since we want to speak as maybe I'll say senior, junior, because I don't know the year left. Thank you for comparing me to these great people, but I don't think I'm anything near them. I'm just trying to offer my own little services. The only thing I can tell you when I talk about getting a level playing field, the reason why you're in America today, among them, that America offers an opportunity where your life, your hard work, and your talent will match up the opportunity. In Nigeria, it's not so. In Nigeria, you can be the most hardworking, you can be the most talented, everything, even from education. If you look at down in the federal school, the cutoff points are different. Anambra State, because of what we did in the education, have the highest cutoff point in Nigeria, of about 130, while the other state, where cutoff point is less than 10%. So you go for the exact cutoff point is 130, other person is 10. When you come out, it could be first class, you're looking for a job, have best, most hardworking. The job will be given to somebody who may not even have been able to pass through the same, achieve the same level of education. Appointments are made on arbitrary, on course, based on nepotism, based on, which is one of the worst forms of corruption. When we talk about corruption, nepotism is one of the worst forms of corruption. These are things we mean when we say a level playing field, where people will know that they are going to get what they're looking for, achieve where they want to be by ensuring a fair competition. On diaspora policy, again, because the country is not serious, and those who are serving are incompetent. That is why they are not doing what they're supposed to do. If you ensure implementation of diaspora policy, ensure that you create a ministry for that purpose, and they are supported, you could actually double their remittance. Today, Philippines have a similar thing. The Philippines receives about 50 billion diaspora remittance. And all that. Measures to ensure that people relocate to Nigeria from Stella and Patricia. What do we do to encourage and support diasporas coming back to invest? The only measures we need is, number one, is to secure the country. Because nobody goes where it is security to invest, no matter how profitable. Seen governments in Nigeria talk about return on investment. Before somebody can think about return on investment, he has to think about his life, whether he will be alive to enjoy the return. So you need to secure the country. You need to unite the country. Again, like I was said in the last question, you need to provide an environment where there's rule of law, where there's law and order, everything. With all this, you'll be encouraged to come back. You'll be encouraged. There's something that you notice now. If you say you're coming back, even for just Christmas or any celebration, it is your own relation that will be asking you not to come back. Before, they will be begging you to come back. And they call in the past and have cousins, even all over the world. At a time like this, people are reminding their families, their own cousins and everything, families, oh, these people are coming back. Why are you not coming back? Oh, this family is coming back. Everybody is saying, oh, I'm coming back. Now, we are the ones asking you not to come back. We are the ones, the credit costs. So we will provide enabling environment for you to come back and invest. And unless you start coming back to invest, no genuine investor globally will come back. Those who are coming today are those who are helping in the criminality that is today all over Nigeria. They are either foreigners who are catching our fishing in our territorial waters illegally, mining our minerals illegally, helping to steal our oil, everything, which we want to replace with genuine investors who wants to come here, invest in critical areas of development that are helping us to create jobs and everything. And you will be part of that. That is why when I talk about, when my brother mentioned about Abraham Lincoln, JFK, and other people, my commitment is to help that turn around and ensure that we have a society where people can say, this is what is, I'm coming to invest, safety of my investment. If anything goes wrong, I'll seek redress through the judicial system, and I'm sure to get a fair hearing. These are things that makes a society where there's security, a society where it's uniting people. I've said repeatedly that people should have me responsible. When I talk about corruption, said it, hold me responsible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for the for responding to those questions. A lot of things to unpack with that answer. Thank you. So we will be going to the second phase of our question this evening, and the theme would be industry. And can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, Prof is here and wants to make an, probably an overall comment.
Well, I was just saying that we need to be rounding up quickly, at least now for more than 1.5 hours. So we should be rounding up. Let me say that we are very happy that we've been able to get this meeting together and to listen to Mr. Peter Obi's perspective on the diaspora. This is an area that we have spent a lot of time talking about. He repeatedly says that the challenge for the new Nigeria is moving people from sharing the booty and consumption to production. Clearly, one of the ways that we can best move to a manufacturing economy is to return to the country's factor endowments and to base manufacturing experience on taking endowments like agricultural endowments around the country, building value chains based on latent comparative advantage of those endowments into global markets. If there are people who have a clear network, a reputation, and the comfort of having come out of Nigeria and therefore can better understand the risks in the environment, is diaspora, which is why the Japanese diaspora in Germany, after the Meiji Restoration, was significantly responsible for Japan's technological awakening at the beginning of the 20th century. In the same way as Indian academics, you take something like globalization and big arguments in academia about globalization, you will see that while people like Joseph Stiglitz were writing academics like the Columbia colleague of Stiglitz, Jagdish Bhagwati, was writing in praise of globalization, because essentially Indian academics used it to encourage outsourcing, which went significantly to India. And this is why an India that was technically bankrupt in 1991 received a huge shot in the arm at a point in time. By 1994, its foreign reserves was down to 3 weeks trading money in 1991, was surging up around 1994 by $1 billion a week. And the major source of that inflow was non-resident Indians, as they are called. There is no doubt in our minds that the future of Nigeria depends on the network of contacts that those of you who are out there in the diaspora bring to the table. The savings that you have made. The Nigerian diaspora is now, in the opinion of many, perhaps the most well-off nationality community in North America. If all this combined to drive the pumping up of the Nigerian economy, we could have a new country that we can really, truly be proud of. As Mr. Peter Obi says all the time, a new Nigeria is possible. But it's not possible just like you who are out there. I think that this is perhaps an appropriate note for us to try and wind down this conversation.
Okay. Can I beg?
Another chance. We're going to get another chance. On the 7th of January, we're going to have a telethon, and we invite Nigerians all over the world to join this 24-hour telethon, at which issues facing Nigeria will be discussed from 1 hour to another hour, all day long. Nigerians can call in, can send in charts, but clearly it's a partnership between the diaspora and the thinking class, if you will, in Nigeria. That's how the new Nigeria will be. Thank you also.
Can I beg your pardon? Can I beg your pardon, Prof? Can we just read out all the questions, and then your Excellency can pick the ones he wants to comment on? Can we just read them one after the other? I shouldn't take much time. Okay?
No problem.
Okay, thank you. So, Henry, time to go.
Okay, so I'll just read it all the way, and then we can go from there. So the second, based on for industry and foreign policy theme, the question is: as you move Nigeria from consumption to production,
who is the person who is supposed to ask that?
Dr. High Chief Dr. Onoha. So please,
Okay.
High Chief, go ahead.
Is she online?
I didn't see her online.
Okay, we'll go to the next person until she comes back.
Okay. So
yeah, please, this is Christmas midnight. It's not going to be nice for us to enter Christmas.
Okay, go ahead. Who is the next person?
Double Doc and Umora.
Is she online?
Yes, she can go ahead and read.
All right.
If she's not ready, I'll read it out for her. I can just, if someone can
just move to the next person.
Okay, next question is Dr. Paul Ezuku. He's online.
Dr. Paul, just make yours quick.
Okay. While we're waiting for Dr. Paul, can Dr. Anthony Keme also get ready? He's the next.
Okay.
I can just blow through the questions. Then Chief Oke Ilonzo is the next.
Whoever can read, just step in and read your question.
This is Dr. Keme. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Dr. Anthony Keme is the immediate past president of NAPSA and one of the great promoters of diaspora and engagement in Nigeria. And I will make it quick. Good evening or good morning, Your Excellency. Thank you for being here. And my question is related to globalization. And the last speaker you invited alluded to what I am very, very keen on, because we believe that the diaspora can help a lot. Globalization and opportunity presents to Nigeria. I love what you always remind Nigerians, that your vision is to transform Nigeria from a consuming nation to a producing nation. And we also know that that is something the countries you mentioned have taken advantage of. You talked about India, you talked about China, you talked about, in fact, the Jews also have done that. And basically what it is to look beyond your nation and look at the globe as a land of opportunity and identify areas of global need that you have comparative advantage in. I am in the pharmaceutical sector, and the API we use for manufacturing drugs come mainly from China and India, okay? And Malaysia is one country that arguably had taken palm from Nigeria, and today we import from them. Even though some people said that's not the case, but we know they overtook us in export of palm. My question is, what plans do you have to go beyond us producing to satisfy our need, but to identify globally areas where we have comparative advantage and create incentives, create enabling environment for Nigeria to produce for the world so that we can increase our foreign exchange earnings and boost our economy, because there's no way we can grow without taking advantage of such opportunities. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Dr. Akeme. Dr. Ilonzo, Chief Ilonzo, okay, Ilonzo.
Yes. His Excellency, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. His Excellency, we've been following you. We wish you're going to win to become the president of Nigeria. Based on what you have been saying, you have the data for Nigeria. And now we are being told, and it's obvious, $20 billion plus goes to Nigeria from diaspora. And I'm sure USA maybe 50%. And it goes to consumption. His Excellency, if you become the president of Nigeria, can you change that to production instead of consumption? You know, Nigeria is running deficit. To give you an example, I saw you in a canoe at River Niger because of the flooding. And River Niger has been projected for dredging. So from Cameroon, when they open the floodgate, it goes to River Benue, it comes to the south, it comes to Bayelsa, it floods everybody. And we are losing millions or billions of dollars. In the last couple of days, supplementary budget was 800 billion naira to solve these flood-related issues by building dams, by doing irrigation for agriculture. My question to you, US of A has been for the past 30 years trying to help Nigeria in renewable energy, in building dams, mostly in the southeast. River Niger was 1,000 megawatts if dam is built and put roadway on top of it and dredge River Niger. If you become president of Nigeria, can you, His Excellency, bring in this diaspora money into production? That's my question. Thank you.
Can Dr. Nwankwo take over and read all the other questions quickly for us, unless anybody can read their own quickly, so we can wrap up. Okay, anyone that is ready, please read yours so we can wrap up. It has to be a minute each.
No, Your Excellency, this is Egbe Martins. I just have a few comments to make, just very briefly. If you will consider creating a diaspora think tank to assist your government in remotely providing advice and evaluation of programs and projects. Simple. Thank you.
All right. Just for the interest of time, Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, my name is Dr. Odira Nwankwo. I'm an associate professor of pediatrics and a pediatric intensivist here. I'm just going to quickly read those questions. If you're not able, again, for the interest of time, if you cannot provide
can I just hold this? We have our biggest donor there who is now crying on the phone that she was overlooked from asking question. Hi, Chief, please, can you go ahead? Okay. Are you there? Can you mute yourself and ask your question?
What's the name?
Hi, Chief. Hi, Chief Dr. Patience Onoha. Hi, Chief. We're waiting for you. Let me see. Can we bring her up and mute and unmute her?
She called in as a Zoom user, that's why.
Can you unmute yourself and talk?
Okay, now I'm unmuted now. No, I have been here for the longest time. It's like you can't talk even when you wanted to. Okay, Your Excellency, very glad to be here with you, and we are very glad to be here. My name is High Chief Dr. Patience Onoha, and this the center spread here, it's me up here, okay? And I have passionately followed you with your speech and everything. And it's likened to the Kennedy. Don't think about what your country can do for you. Ask yourself what it can do for your country. And that is my passion. And really, as in Nigeria, we are very, very handicapped. I don't care what some of us, like me, what resources you can do to help. We can have the tools, but when you have your hands tied because of lack of security, bad road, it's very hard to do anything. Or, you know, as we can speak in Igbo, so that's the main big thing. So right now, my question, I think somebody kind of pick up on that. It's, you have talked about, you know, as that you're going to, your passion is to move Nigeria from consumption to production. So now the thing here is what plans do we have, or do you have, you know, for small, medium, large scale farmers in terms of security, good road mechanization, storage, processing and exporting. And aside from all this, or in other words, in addition to this, what measures do we have or you have in place for security and good road? Because without good road, we are halted very much. Without security, nobody moves. This is a Christmas time. I brought out a lot of things for, you know, people back home for a cherry Christmas, but nobody wants to go to the area because they're scared. They're gonna be killed, lack of security, and everything I sent came in late. And these are the issues that we are dealing with. I have things I have put out to take off and be able to provide a lot of jobs. That is not happening because there's no roads, there's no anything, nowhere to go for anything. Thank you, Your Excellency. That's my question.
Please, can I have two more people here? Joseph Onyezu, are you there? If not, is Clem Okoji there? Is Joe Onyezu there to ask his question regarding the embassy here? Okay.
Double Doc is here, Doctor.
Lady Clem Okoji is here.
Okay, go ahead. Please make it quick.
Whom do you want to go ahead? Is it Clem?
Yeah, Clem.
Oh, good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Lady Clem Okoji. I'm one of the lead organizers. I was called upon to be part of this experience, which I enjoyed so much.
It is so nice.
And so, in addition to other financial contributions, and my question, without waste of time, Nigeria is evidently divided into contrasting groups by religious, ethnic, and cultural opinions. What is your plan on uniting the country when you become the president? Secondly, the SME, that's the small, medium businesses, enterprises, development across the country or any country is the core foundation of economic establishment and stability. How do you hope to work on encouragement of SME for the youth and unemployed in Nigeria? Thank you, Your Excellency and distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Is Joe Onyezu on the line? Is Joseph Onyezu on the line? If it's not, I think
Double Doc is on the line too, and she's been present.
Double Doc, please. You take the podium to ask your question.
All right, please, I promise to keep this under 2 minutes, like as we were promised. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and Your Excellency, we welcome you. I'm Double Doc and Ukebu Ume Ora. My husband, Dr. Michael Ume Ora, and I reside in Houston, Texas, and we were part of the large group that welcomed you and your team when you visited Houston. We accepted this invitation to join the PA team organizing this event because we've been very eager to contribute to your effort to build a new Nigeria for us and for our future generations. Thank you very much for making out this time today to be with us. The Nigerian nation is actually overflowing with expectations from your God-ordained emergence as the person to move Nigeria to the promised land. Your Excellency, my husband and I bought 274 hectares of land at Nsukka in the mid-90s, actually with the very first money we made here in the United States. We had the hope of developing it into a palm plantation. All our efforts have failed due to what I have decided to term the Nigerian factor. Your Excellency, this bad investment did not stop us. In 2004, we moved back to Nigeria, built a noodle company. Our factory building alone was 132 meters by 64 meters long. And we actually brought out a product into the market, Chef Me Noodles. No money borrowed with our seed money. At that time, Indomie was the only other noodle company in the market. Now, after spending 10 years at home, this venture also failed due to the same Nigerian factor. In what ways will the new Nigeria, under your leadership, provide the necessary infrastructure that can assist diaspora investment, especially in the area of agriculture? Thank you, sir.
Is Gethsemane Ugochukwu online?
Okay, Onizu, Joseph Onizu is online now. He's been unmuted.
Oh,
Joseph,
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, thank you for being part of this event today, and thanks for the wonderful lecture. My team was responsible for providing security at the live event. We liaise with the local law enforcement to make sure our people are safe and also the safety of all those that were going to come with people. So now in the diaspora, we have a challenge. Our challenge is with getting Nigerian passport, either an old or new passport. The process is cumbersome. People are getting frustrated with the attitude of people at the embassies, not just in the US, in Europe, in the UK, and all over the world. So our question now is, what would you do to clean up these inefficiencies and this attitude that we have at the US embassies all over the world? Thank you.
Mama T, can Mama T take on, please?
And Gethsemane has been unmuted. So Gethsemane has been unmuted. Gethsemane, you can ask a question.
Yeah, Gethsemane, go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, Mama T is on. Mama T, go ahead.
Mama T, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm unquenable Mama T. I was called by Dr. Uda. I'm the top caterer in Philadelphia. My question to you, Excellency, what will you do for people in diaspora to be able to catch their votes in Nigeria when you are there? Thank you.
Gethsemane, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay,
Excellency,
go ahead.
yeah, my name is Gethsemane Ugochukwu. I'm the president of LIFA. And LIFA is a law enforcement and armed forces association based in the United States of America. And our members are drawn mainly from the southeastern and south states of Nigeria. We have as members police officers, correctional officers, members of the USA Armed Forces, cyber security personnel, forensic crime experts, and those in the federal and state intelligence units. So basically, insecurity is the biggest issue today in Nigeria. So my question is this: what kind of reform does your government envisage to promote professionalism in the Nigerian police force, as well as any incentive packages or reform that the government plans to implement in order to help strengthen our security system in Nigeria? I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this, Doc, I think, Dr. Uda, I think at this point, this is a very good place to end it for the night. We'll pass it over to His Excellency. All other questions will be collected and emailed to him, and he can reach out to us.
Let me ask 1 minute. Let me go back and say that I just want to ask something or humbly request something. I don't think that I want to finish this question. Can we go back to him?
Yes, please. Dr. Odera, go ahead. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, His Excellency. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Just like Dr. Udo had mentioned when she started, I'm the chair of the program event. I honestly did not have any question for you. The last time you joined us on Zoom, on the Saturday that we're supposed to have the live event, I asked you my question then. What I was trying to do was just to call up people who had questions to ask. But since it was so gracious of you to ask this question. I will go back again for the benefit of those who did not join on that Saturday to ask you. And you could take it as a question, you could also take it as a comment. But what I would like to know is if you're able to tell us what you would count as successes in your first 100 days in office. Usually in this country, anybody who takes office, be it the president, be it the governor, usually go for projects or programs that they could point to in their first 100 days, just to give impetus to that office and encourage people who they govern to continue to believe in them. And I just want to ask you again, His Excellency, do you have things that you have in mind that you would like to point to at the end of your first 100 days as successes that you would have achieved? And lastly, I told you then, I see you as the next president of Nigeria. Come May 2023, 27th, you're going to be inaugurated as the next president of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just believe that, sorry, I didn't know you were trying to call out the people who asked questions when you were cutting. I just felt good. Well, let me just try a little bit and see whether I can make any sense of all these things I said. We have about 10, 11 questions here. And I'll start from the last being issue of insecurity and what we're going to do differently. I've said, and I'll repeat again, the number one priority for anybody who is coming into government now. Are you hearing me?
Everyone, please place yourself on mute so we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so you want to take your...
Please put yourselves on mute. Everyone, please go on mute except His Excellency.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we do. Sorry. We can hear you.
Okay. Like I've always said, the number one priority of anybody who wants to serve here is the issue of insecurity. Insecurity is number one job of government. And we intend to do that and tackle it on head on as soon as we have the opportunity. And this will be, we will be going where we review and restructure the entire architecture, ensure that it's properly manned to make it to be responsive and responsible. And what am I saying? We will do the right thing. And if anything goes wrong, those who are involved, if you're not delivering, we'll go. And I can say, I and that you will be in charge. The box will stop at my desk and I'll take decisions that will make us secure this country. There's a lot of things we said we're going to do in view of ensuring there's a multi-level police. On each of that's why voting. I said it is assignment for that is the last time the Diaspora cannot vote. They can be remitting $20 billion, contributing, like I've always said, we need them in terms of rights, in terms of content. They are voting in Kenya, they are voting in Angola, they are voting in Ghana. They must vote in Nigeria, and it's not reconciled. On our embassy and the hardship, it is because people are posted and are in embassy based on the same traditional way from Nigeria. So they don't know what their job is. Like I always tell students, to reach an era where police will be friendly. Send is what happening in embassy. Are not training and know what they're doing. And that is what we're going to do. That will change. They will be made to know that their job is actually to look out for Nigerians, to be friendly to them, to deal with their issues speedily and everything. And I assure you that we will ensure proper supervision and deal with those who are not interested. It's when I talked about how their business failed because of the Nigerian factor. I said it repeatedly. I will support any good investment. We will not see you fail. The idea, you can't talk about production. We have today millions of unemployed people. We cannot solve it. We cannot start employing them if we don't support cooperation to thrive. When we talk about pulling Nigeria from consumption to production, the priority is to ensure that we have thriving businesses that will employ labor. That is our priority. That's what we want to do. Today, Nigeria is not producing enough. We can't feed ourselves, and that is unacceptable. Even India, with 1.4 billion people living on 3.2 million square kilometers of land, can feed herself and export goods. Nigeria is 1/7 of the population, and we live on 1/3 of their land, which means we have more land space for agriculture, but 60% of our arable land is not cultivated. We need to do that. And our processing center, so we need to support business. Again, what Patricia mentioned, he mentioned about this security, which I said we will deal with in terms of infrastructure and support for MSMEs. I assure you that even in America, where MSMEs, small business, are the engine of the economy. In developing countries, they are most critical. I'm starting from China, to India, to Indonesia. If I use Indonesia, which is closest to our population, they're about 260 million or 265, and we're 220. 97% of the company is MSMEs. And that is very critical. We are not doing a lot. We're not producing anything because we don't support any production. And you can't support production without supporting MSMEs. It's critical, and that's what Claire mentioned, Lisa mentioned it. Claire was emphasizing on asking how to deal with the issue of ethnic and religious. I've campaigned on it. I've consistently said the next year's election will not be based on tribe. No tribe buys bread, rice, or any food cheaper in the market in Nigeria. All tribes are suffering the same. In fact, the North, there has always led the country. If you look at the 10 poorest states in Nigeria, 9 is from the north. So it's not a tribal issue. It is not an issue of religion. No religion buys virtue. No religion buys anything. No religion has oriented anything. So all the religion is suffering. And it's not anybody's turn. Shouldn't be. There's people who claim it's their turn. I come from that area that an Igbo man, I'm proud of being an Igbo person. But I'm running this election as a Nigerian who believe in Nigeria and who believe that I'm best suited, and I urge Nigerians, hold me responsible, now changing it. So we'll do everything to support MSMEs because they're going to help us to build a better economy. We'll do everything to make sure the society is secure. We'll do everything to support good infrastructure. These are two common questions that came from Patricia and Claire. You talk about 100 days enough now. Like I told you, Nigerian problem is not about 100 days enough. The only thing I can tell anybody about 100 days enough.
Sorry, Paul, I think we're going to end this now.
We can bring civility
into Christmas in Nigeria. So as soon as he finishes this sentence, we'll have to cut.
We have to bring civility and order in government so that people can start seeing government as their own, what they can trust, behavior, conduct, everything will be done properly. We will start seeing things differently. When they talked about the issue of diaspora funding being used for production, that's exactly what we're going to do. We want you to come and invest here so that for your investment, you can support what you're supporting here. What you're doing here, you're remitting money to keep people going. You become a welfare support. We want you to be an investor where people you can actually make more money, do things from here. Globalization. Nigeria have advantage. Today, the world is looking for where to buy from. With COVID, the Western world is looking for other sources of supply because they found out that they have a lot of coming out of Asian countries, especially China. So there's other alternatives. And there's a lot we can do which will help us to be more productive when we look at our production. Today, Bangladesh is exporting clothing alone at $6 billion. That is more than Nigerian entire export last year, including the famous oil. Our total export last year was 18.9 billion naira. If you divide it by about 60, which is actual people buy money today, is under $30 billion. The federal government is using for $7 billion, but people like me don't get that rate. So I use the one I get, 650 to divide, and it gives me under 30 billion. That is what Bangladesh is including. That is what Vietnam did about $32 billion in the same clothing. This is what we can do in Aba. This is what we can do all over the place and be able to compete. So I'm looking at what I just said about not being productive. Our total export is about $30 billion. When Vietnam, as half of our population, lives on 1/3 of our land, we live on 903,000 square kilometers. With the over 200 million population, there are 100 million living 330, 1,000 square kilometers. Their export is over $350 billion. We need to deal with it. That's why we're having problem with exchange, which is controlled by your reserve. Your reserve is a function of the export. So we need to turn it around. Next year, the election has to be based on character, competence, commitment, and most especially, this job requires physical and mental energy to be able to do this job. And we're urging you to continue supporting. Once again, I apologize that we could not do this same pattern when it's planned. We rest assured we have time for more and more interactions as we go along. And if we succeed, that is the beginning of interaction. Because we want to learn. A leader must be a learner. He must be a listener, be a learner. That is the only way we can succeed. And you know what you can do to help us. Thank you very much.
Is there any way we can close with a music for you that was written? You just relax your mind and maybe doze off as it's being sung.
We have to call, maybe we'll do it some other time. I listen to the music. I assure you will definitely come back for that music because I need it. It will help us, but we're keeping your people here when they should be with their families in Christmas. So we will stop. But I assure you, I will come back. Definitely.
An announcement.